Okay, I'll put myself on blast, and it's gonna come back to the gym where we maybe said at the end of the day we were gonna go to the gym, and I had a hard day at work. It was really long. I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep well. We can always go to the gym tomorrow.
Okay, those are excuses. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm really good at doing that for myself.
Like if you broke your foot, then we could be like, that's a good explanation for not going to the. He's like,
Is it?
Is it though?
He's like,
Is
you
it?
can lift weights. You have arms.
yeah,
don't
you have arms, don't you?
Yeah. Switch
Damn.
up your workouts, dude. That's all I know.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Camp Throuple Podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are your camp hosts. I'm Alana.
I'm Megan.
I'm Kevin.
And today, we're going to talk about our ins and our outs for 2025.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
This should get interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear what you guys have.
I'm excited to hear what you have.
Well, kick us off, ladies first.
Whoa.
Which lady over here?
Get it, girl.
You want me to go?
Let's go.
All right. Should I start with my ins? Should we just do like an ins and then we do an outs after?
Well, before we go in, let's talk about what we had discussed, which was we're going to have one in for our personal life, one out for our personal life, and then one in for our relationship, one out for our relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So my in for my personal is to read more, which I know we talked about doing collectively, but this is something that I'm really taking as important to myself to be able to do. To like put the screen down and just focus on a book and read and get this little noggin up here up to speed, you know? Sometimes it's working real slow. So that's an in for me.
That's great.
And then in for our relationship is to have more like intentional or planned date nights. Like I feel like we're really good at being like kind of spontaneous where we'll just that day be like, you want to go on a date tonight? Let's go out to dinner.
Right.
Or like something comes up, but
You don't like that. You like more structure.
I like it.
So
and I
give
think
it to
it's
me on a
great.
calendar first.
I think it's
Yeah.
great, but sometimes there's things where we're like, oh my gosh, this is happening this weekend, but we already have something else going on.
Or we can't get tickets,
We can't get
or-
tickets. It's just like, you know, I think we can be better about planning that out a little bit. We can still have spontaneous
yeah.
dates. We
Hey.
can be spontaneous and fly by the seat of our pants. Is that the phrase?
Could be.
Yeah.
Seat of your pants? What does that even mean?
You fly by the seat of your pants. So like your seat flies.
Seat or seed? I thought it was seed.
It's a seed?
Seat?
The
Or
seat of your pants? What the fuck does that mean?
That sounds
Alana?
kind of weird, but
Maybe I just
it
said
might be
that
right.
wrong.
It might
This
be
is why I
right.
need to read more.
That's amazing.
All right, let's keep going with the ins.
We just want to stay with the ins.
Okay. You just want to go in
All
right now?
let's do it.
in it.
Okay, so personal in for me is to focus more on my like personal goals rather than focusing so much on work. Obviously I need to focus on work because it's important, but like personal goals, things that like I can accomplish for myself to build myself up. You know, like there's a little invention thing that I came up with that I really want to focus on and get excited about and put more energy into things like that build me up.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that too.
What about for?
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
So mine is actually a little similar to yours.
Okay.
My in that I had thought of was like more like dates for us. But because I think it's really easy in a relationship to get comfortable and get off work and be tired and just be like, let's just sit on the couch because we're comfortable doing that. We enjoy that, which is great. But I also know that there's been so many times that we've gone out and had new experiences together and been like, that was really fun. Like, I'm really glad we did that. Yeah. And I think if we don't proactively do those kinds of things, it's really easy to not. And I like it, having new experiences with you guys. So I think that's maybe my in is to like have more new experiences together and try new things. Like we've talked about, like going to a cooking class or
Yeah.
pottery. I don't care. Like just doing more things together.
Well, speaking of new things and cooking, Megan and I have gotten into this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Overcooked
2.
2. It's the 2.
Oh my God.
It's a video game.
my
It's not
God.
just a game that we play.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
a
It's a
video game
video
that exists
game.
and everyone could play.
Yeah.
Everyone can play, and you should play.
And the more people that you play with, the more chaotic it gets.
Well, and the more help, though.
That's true. But there's, sometimes there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Oh my God,
You really
it's
have
so
to have a
fun.
plan. Otherwise, you're just yelling at each other.
It's so much fun. Kevin doesn't get satisfaction out of it like me and Alana do, but I think you like watching us play it.
I enjoy watching you guys play. There's no release of dopamine when I play that game. Other games I get like, oh, okay, this is fun. I want to keep doing it. It feels more like a chore playing that game.
It is work, yeah.
It's work. You're like trying to beat the clock and get out as many orders as you can. But I think
so much fun.
It teaches you a lot about teamwork and how other people work.
Alana hasn't stopped talking about it since we started playing. She said it's like the first thing she thought about when she woke up.
No, today too.
Literally the first thing. Like I woke up, I didn't even open my eyes all the way, and I was like,
Order
I
up.
should play that game.
Get the cheese, shred the cheese, cut the meat.
Chop the tomato.
Yeah.
I need you over here.
The potatoes are on fire.
Get me those dishes. It's really fun.
More
So,
of that.
Yeah. More of that, but also more of actual cooking
Yes.
outside of the house,
Yes.
going and doing things. I like that.
Yeah.
I support it.
What about you, Lova?
All right. So my personal in is to trust my gut more. So you guys know that what's the right word for this? Overanalyze a lot of things, even small situations that maybe don't need to be overanalyzed. So I'm just going to, trust my gut, trust my first initial reaction, and not make excuses for it after I've already made the decision. So like even with betting, there will be things where I'm like, oh, I think this person will get a touchdown, for example. I go look at the odds and the odds are like really high. I'm like, okay, well the probability is pretty low for them to get that touchdown. So I'll withdraw my bet and put it on a more safe bet.
Yeah.
And then the first 5 minutes, that person gets a touchdown and I could have won lots of money.
All of the money.
And I feel like that's a theme that I've tried to work on throughout my life, but it's just, there's no finish line. You just got to keep making progress. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
I like it.
And then my in for our relationship is to just be 100% present when we're doing something. So I think it's very easy for all of us to think about the future, to think about the past. And it could be little things like, oh, what are we doing for lunch? What are we doing next? What are we doing this? And I get it's good to plan, but not at the expense of taking you out of the moment.
Right.
And I think some of our best memories together are when we are all completely immersed in the present moment and we're doing something. You know what I mean? So I want to create more memories with you guys and do more things, but I want to give 100% of my focus when we're doing something. And this is kind of like for everything. So it's not just the relationship, it's also my personal life. When I'm doing one thing, focus on that 100%. And then when I'm doing another thing, focus on that instead of like 50-50 or, dividing my attention of like, oh, well, we got to eat. So where are we going to go? Or we got to do this. Then what are we going to do after that? Or
Yeah, like while you're doing something, you're thinking about what we're going to do next.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy in like moderation, right? You should always kind of be thinking a little bit about what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But not at the expense of like, if you're talking to me or you're talking to me and I'm like, oh, I wonder what we're going to have for dinner. Or how long is it going to take to get home? Like, what's traffic like?
Yeah.
Like, just deal with it when you're dealing with it instead of dealing with it before you're even dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. And I think that's not just, like you said, it's not totally the relationship, but it is good for all of us. Like I'm guilty of that as well, of not being present or thinking about something like traffic or what I'm going to have later or what I'm going to wear in the morning so I can plan that out so I'm not late to work or things like that. It's like just sit in the moment that you're in and then...
Which is difficult. Like I think it's easier said than done. Like for me personally, when I feel the most present is like when we're fishing.
Yeah.
Because it almost forces me to be present because I've got to, get my line out there, don't snag it. I'm trying more fish.
Yeah.
You know, you're like enjoying your surroundings. Like I feel the most present in those moments. And I think that's why I love it so much. So if we could incorporate that more into our daily life, imagine how much more fulfilling like every day would be.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like that.
For letting go, you want a snake? So we went this way and then we'll go back.
Sure.
Yeah, give us your outs.
So for the out or letting go in 2025 for the relationship, it's going to be jumping to conclusions quickly. So hearing a problem from you all or hearing a story and then jumping to, oh, does this mean this? Or, oh, here's the answer, or here's this. Just waiting, listening, and waiting for you guys to ask me what my opinion is or thoughts are on a situation instead of blurting out. This is a problem because of my ADHD. My mind is working really quickly, and I just want to like know what we're going to do for something, take action.
Yeah. So that requires more patience, right?
Yeah. So that could be an in as well, like being more patient.
Yeah, I mean, I think any
Out is going to have an in.
Yeah.
And in has an out. Yum. Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Book it.
Book it.
Lunch today. Book it. Sorry, I'm not being present. Continue.
Takes time, babe.
Yeah, we're getting there.
And then for my personal, my out is to, oh my God, I'm blanking. I'm blanking. Oh, I got it. It's spend less on things that don't contribute to the future I want to have. So if there are little things that like in the moment, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to eat out, or I'm going to order some food, or I'm going to buy this character skin on this video game or something like that. Is that contributing to the goals that I want throughout the life? So normally I'm very sporadic, very in the moment of like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this. But over time that adds up. Yeah. And before you know it, you're like, I spent $700 on video game skins. That's never happened, but you guys understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the eating out is a harder one because that in the moment seems like the easiest, quickest solution if you don't have food or you don't want to cook and you're just feeling kind of lazy. But then afterwards you're like, I just spent all that money and I didn't need to. And now I don't have money to go towards this or that. And so really focusing on the future, I guess that's a little bit opposite of the being present. But it's not focusing on it. You're kind of just keeping it
in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's like a time and place for everything. I think you should reflect on the past to see how you can grow and how you handled situations. I think there's a time to plan for the future so you know you're moving towards something. I'm just saying have time slots for all of that and not have it all when I'm having a conversation with one of you. Oh, what are we going to do next year? What are we going to do for this? Hey, what happened a week ago? Like just try and stay focused on what you're saying at that time, and then have like, okay, this is going to be my planning time.
Yeah,
this is going to be my
reflection
retro time. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I like it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
You're next.
What's up?
What's your out?
So out for the relationship, I guess it's a little different than yours. I thought of it differently, but that's okay. Is like as simple as us like sitting down having dinner together is like out is like putting away social media, putting away our phones, and that again is another way to be present, I think. And like you said, being, more present with each other. I think again, being in a relationship for a long time, it's very easy to forget how important it is to just like connect with one another and be present and not let little things distract you, which I think we all are guilty of, eating dinner and us all having our phones right there and scrolling or, oh, look at this article I found or this, where it could just be like us. So like
having a moment together.
Yeah. So like the out for me in the relationship is for me to be more focused on doing that and putting that.
So out would be screens
during like, dinner, lunch, us going and doing something.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And then as for my personal, my out will be to have negative self-talk.
Just
I need to not have it. I need to put the negative self-talk out. Get it out of here.
Get out of
no
here.
self-talk
No
for
room for this.
2025.
Yeah.
No
I have
negative self-talk.
recently, I think in the past few weeks, had more negative self-talk because I've been like really stressed.
Super
with
stressed
work,
with work.
and all of that just starts to kind of like crumble on top of you sometimes, and then it leads to things like that. And I just wasn't very aware of it until Kevin like brought it up to me the other day. It was like, hey, you've been like talking mad shit on yourself. Like, what's going on?
Well, and I was saying, you and I don't, like, you're our girlfriend. Don't talk about our girlfriend that way.
Yeah.
You said that too.
But I think it's easy to get caught in a cycle of doing that until maybe, you know, your partners or someone you're with like is like, hey, what are you doing? And Kevin brought it up to me. He said something, but like him specifically bringing it up to me in a conversation kind of was like, oh, fuck, you know, I am doing that. And I know it's not good for me. It's not good for anyone to talk bad about themselves. Even if you did do something wrong, like there's a way to put a positive spin on it if you're talking about it.
To grow from it.
Right. To not just bury yourself in it. And I think I have been doing that, and I'm going to work on putting that shit out.
I think that should be an out for everyone. I'll even hop on board with that too. That wasn't the one I set, but I think I'm guilty of that as well. And like this time of year, I think is even harder because it's the holidays. So you're like eating more, indulging, and then like the holidays go so fast. And then as soon as they're over, it's like, boom, we're on to the next. Like you have this like stretch of time where it's this new year, it's cold, so we can't go out fishing, and you're like in this weird
It's like
state.
seasonal depression, right? That's a real thing. Well, and I think too, like with the negative self-talk, like Kev was bringing up, like the quality of your thoughts. What is the
The
line?
happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Yeah.
Which is super important to focus on. So I'm just going to try to focus on that more and put out the shit. Get that shit out of her.
Get that shit out of her.
Get that shit out of her.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it too.
All right. I'm gonna call us out a little bit here, you guys.
Oh no.
With our group
Putting
one.
us on boo last.
Yeah, listen, I'm guilty of this too, but it's going to be an all of us thing that I think we can all work on. So my out for us this year is not following through on things we say we're going to do, which I think a lot of
Take
things.
the trash out, Kevin.
Not even small things like that. Like we have followed through on quite a few things. Like we started this podcast this year, released the ebook that we wanted to do. So we are accomplishing big things. But I think sometimes we allow ourselves to, at the end of the day, like, oh, I know we said we're going to go to the gym, but we're not going to do that, which we're going to go to the gym because we're going to go early in the mornings now.
Alana's really excited. It'll be easier, babe. You'll see.
I'm more of a morning person than I am a night person. But
She's
at
like,
the
but I'm
end of
not
the day,
really-
She's like, I really hit my stride at lunch.
I know. Like noon, you can see me going.
Honestly, that would be my preference for gym, is going like on my lunch break, but not everyone can do that.
Yeah. And we like to do things together.
But I would agree with you. We do sometimes make excuses for ourselves and not follow through with things. Maybe sometimes because we just have a lot on our plates, you know? But then like, don't say you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Fucking be about it.
Be about it. That's right.
I like
Which
it.
kind of my personal one goes hand in hand with it because my personal one is to, yes, it's very serious, is to not make excuses for myself or others, which you guys probably know I'm very good at, like kind of making excuses, or like if someone were like, oh, I should have done this. And I'm like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z happened. Like I'm very good
You
at
do that. You've done it for me for sure.
Which like sometimes I think isn't like I do it as a comforting.
Like you don't need to be an army general.
No, I'm not going to be like, you should have done that. You should have taken out the trash last night. I'm not going to be all like crazy.
She's wearing her army pants.
I am.
She means business. Or she doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
I'm just a top half now.
Yeah.
I have no legs.
She's a floating body.
Gotta hold on. Yeah, so that's my personal one. Again, it's not a black and white kind of thing where it's like I'm not gonna.
No excuses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no excuses or no. To me, I think there's differences between excuses and explanations.
So I'm glad you touched on that because I've been holding back what I wanted to say is
Say it.
how many, like, give me an example because I think you providing someone the benefit of the doubt and trying to understand a situation and cause and effect is not the equivalent of like someone making an excuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So give me an example of what you're talking about with like an excuse versus an explanation.
Even for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
don't put me on blast. Do it by
Bring
yourself.
it. I won't. Whoa.
Here, I'll put
go.
myself on blast, and it's gonna come back to the gym where we maybe said at the end of the day we were gonna go to the gym, and I had a hard day at work. It was really long. I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep well. We can always go to the gym tomorrow.
Okay, those are excuses. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm really good at doing that for myself.
Like if you broke your foot, then we could
Yes.
be like, that's a good explanation for not going to the. He's like,
Is it?
Is it though?
he's like,
Is
you
it?
can lift weights. You have arms.
yeah, you
don't
have arms, don't you?
Yeah. Switch
Damn.
up your workouts, dude. That's all I know.
I would not. Also, there have been times where you guys had gone to the gym without me, and I had
A bowl of Chunky
valid-
Monkey.
No. When have I ever eaten a bowl of Chunky Monkey? First of all,
How long we got?
no. But if I was working later in the night, and you guys were like, "Okay, well, we'll go to the gym," there's been like someone at the gym who's like, "Where's your third? What's up?" And then the next time I come in, they're like, "You weren't here last time." And I'm
They're like, oh,
"Stop."
well,
How's
Welcome
that bowl
back.
of Chunky Monkey?
Okay, yeah, but that guy needs to stop doing that.
So like, calm down.
Like I've
I'm
never
trying.
had that happen at a gym before where they like specifically call you out when you walk in.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we went and I've thought about that we're gonna walk in and he's gonna be there and he's gonna be like, oh
Yeah, haven't seen you in a long time.
back.
What a cliche coming in the new year, huh? Just like last year.
We'll see if it happens. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, hopefully it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just overthinking
It's just a
it
funny
right now.
thing to do. I'm like, is that a good thing to do as a gym or is it bad? Because it kind of makes you feel
I
like
think it depends on the person. For
Yeah,
me,
some-
it makes me like, I don't want to.
you don't want to go. Yeah. But some people would take it as like
Motivation.
motivation.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like that little echo. We should practice that and do that more often with everything.
Everything.
Whenever we emphasize a word, the other two need to echo
it?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
fun. That'd be fun.
Love it. Fun.
Speaking of fun, thank you for sharing your ins and outs in the relationship and your personal for 2025.
Same to you.
Thank you. But we also wanted to add a little bit more fun to this podcast and
It could get more fun.
Wait, are you telling me it's going to be more fun?
Oh my
my
gosh.
So we had this idea of the S'more You Know. And the S'more You Know game is going to be a question, scenario, or situation where we'll read and then we each get 30 seconds to come up with our answers. We would like to include all of our viewers to add in the comment section who you think
Had the best answer.
had the best answer.
Funniest, best, whatever.
Just let
you
us
give
know
us-
who you
yeah.
think has the best answer,
Yeah.
whatever that means to you, whether
nice.
it's funny, serious, like, oh yeah, you know what, that's a good way of looking at it, whatever it is for you. But we're going to have sometimes outlandish questions, scenarios, situations, and we're going to try and have at least 5 to 10 new questions every week. So we don't get to think about what our answer is
Right.
beforehand.
Yes. And they'll be in a mixed bag. So we don't know what's going to come out.
Which
Yeah,
is
in this
so
fancy little mixed bag.
Wow. Where
How
did you
about
get that?
Well, you know, this is a priceless item because I created it
You made that.
during my first sewing class that I talked about doing. And yeah, I know a couple of different stitches now. And
That's not the dolphin, is it?
no, it's not the dolphin. This is,
no.
I don't want to say the name of the stitch.
Okay.
It's very
private?
It's actually
yeah.
super secret. Proprietary information.
That's a really nice bag. I'm very proud of
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I like it a
Thank you.
lot. I'm honestly a little bit nervous for this because it's one of those things where since we don't know the question, it's like, like when you hear something and you know you have an answer, but everything you've ever known falls out of your head.
That's the game
and
we
you're
were
just
playing
like,
the other night.
Tapple.
Tapple?
I think that's what it was called.
I think so.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Where you have a thing, like ours was the Great Outdoors, and you have to go and pick a letter and say something like you'd hit B, bear.
But I forgot every animal, every fruit, every
outdoor activity.
everything.
That's why I think this game is going to be fun because it puts us on the spot and we
Yeah.
have to come up with a quick random
response. Yes.
So wait, do we have to buzz in when we want to answer, or are we just going to go in order? We should plan this out.
Okay, so you are going to pick the question, read it. Megan will have the first answer. I'll have the second. You'll have the third.
Nice.
Oh my God.
But
And
that's
I'll
not
put
always great 'cause you
30
guys can
seconds
take
on my
names.
phone.
Under pressure.
30 seconds on the phone.
Okay, but you got to give me a second to think.
No,
Shit.
Good luck.
I'll give you
We don't
30
have to do
seconds
you
for
first
a
every
response.
Okay.
Okay.
That way you don't have to feel like
Okay.
this is just, I have a question in my hand.
All
She has a
right.
question in her hand.
Let me know when you're ready to read it. Once you are finished reading the question, I'll hit the 30-second mark.
All right. I'm ready to read it.
Ready?
Yeah. If we discovered a hidden treasure chest, who'd immediately lose it and how?
Go.
I would immediately lose the treasure chest. Treasure chest. I lose everything. I forget what I heard 1 second ago. Like literally every day, I think you guys say something to me, and then I ask you the same question. So if we found a chest, I would lose it right away. I think you'd all agree with that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have to give a 30-second answer also.
Yep. And I'm starting 30 seconds now. I think Megan would also lose it. And I think she would be like, okay, I'm going to put it here. But she would only say that in her head, and she wouldn't share that with the rest of the class.
Yes.
And we'd be like, where's the treasure? Where's the treasure?
I'd be like, I told you guys where I put it.
And we'd be like, where? And she's like, it was by that rock. And we're like, what rock? We're on the jetties.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Do you have a 30 seconds for me?
Yeah.
I don't really need 30 seconds, but I also think it would be Megan. And we've pretty much explained why, because we've had this exact thing happen. Not with treasure. It'd be cool if it was treasure, but things that we were going to use or we had for that day. And then she doesn't say it out loud where she put it. She's like, I'm going to put it here.
Yeah.
And then later
Mental
she's
note.
like, wait, where did I put it? I'm like, I don't know. We told you to be in charge of that. And we should have learned not to do that. So if we had a hidden treasure chest, it would not go in the hands of Megan. So sorry, I love you.
It's true. It's true.
All right. The more you know.
The more you know.
you
Not going to trust
I can't
Megan
remember
with
shit.
treasure.
Loses things. And I find things.
You do. You're very good at finding things. I think every time we lose something or can't find something, we call on Alana.
Yeah. There have been things where I'm like, you actually looked in the spot that it was and didn't find it. Both of you.
Very
have
true.
been guilty
You're
of this.
better than me at finding things. I'm the worst.
The question was how, and did we answer why?
Wait, who'd immediately lose it and how?
I feel like, I mean, that was a how.
I guess.
How? Because she
I
would
would put it somewhere and not tell anyone where I put it, and I'd forget.
That's how she'd lose it.
I guess, yeah.
She would hide it again because it was hidden treasure. So she'd hide it again.
I'd want to keep it safe.
Yeah, or you'd lose the map that we hit it
Yeah.
with.
Somehow,
You would lose
I
it.
would lose it. It's just super bummer because I want some treasure.
You can have some.
You can have some
we'll
treasure. We
manage
just
it
won't
for you.
give you the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
We're
fair.
a team.
That's fair.
So
We are a
one
team.
treasure is all of our treasure.
I dig it, guys. And now, the more you know is that I am very forgetful. I am,
It's true.
but that's
That's
okay.
okay.
What are we doing?
Where?
Where are we?
Oh man. Well, that was really fun. I love that new little segment, guys.
I do too.
And I really liked hearing about your ins and outs, and I hope that we can actually put them to practice starting right now.
Let's do it. We've got some good ones.
Speaking of outs, I'm about to bounce out of this podcast today,
Bounce
guys.
out.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Lights out.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.